Alright, picking up where I left off. This is part 2. And this principle of law is called the principle of polarity. Now, everything is dual. Everything has poles. Everything has its pair of opposites. Like and unlike are the same. Opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. Extremes meet. All truths are but half truths. All paradoxes may be reconciled. This principle embodies the truth that everything is dual. Everything has two poles. Everything has its pair of opposites, all of which were old Hermetic axioms. It explains the old paradoxes that have perplexed so many, which have been stated as follows. Thesis and antithesis are identical in nature but different in degree. Opposites are the same, differing only in degree. The pairs of opposites may be reconciled. So it is with God and the devil. Like I said, God and the devil are two lovers of one union. Just like you got water, which is hot and cold, and then you can get water in the ice form, then you can get it in hot form, but yet it is still water. So it is with God and the devil, okay? One can't exist without the other. These are degrees. Like you have the lower chakra, the root chakra, which is at the south pole between the anal cavity, and then you got the north pole, which is the crown chakra, or either your third eye, which is in the pineal gland. This is how you get, this is the law of polarity. All right, again, opposites are the same. Opposites are the same, differing only in degree. The pairs of opposites may be reconciled. Extremes meet. Everything is and isn't at the same time. All truths are but half truths. Every truth is half truth. There are two sides to everything. And that's the law of gender and polarity. Alright. It explains that in everything there are two poles or opposite aspects, and that opposites are really only the two extremes of the same thing. So this is how you get your astral body and your physical body, your left brain, your right brain, the kundalini, the masculine and feminine, Shiva and the Shakti, the destructive energy and the nourishing energy. That deal with the law of gender and polarity, with many varying degrees between them. You see, nothing is nothing. So it's like this. You got all these degrees. So nothing is evil except the person's intent. And the intentions of a person is that degree which they're using. Alright? That's all it is. To illustrate, hot and cold, although opposites, are really the same thing. The differences consisting merely of degrees of the same thing. Look at your thermometer and see if you can discover where the heat terminates and cold begins. There is no such thing as absolute heat or absolute cold. The two terms heat and cold simply indicate varying degrees of the same thing. And that same thing, which manifests as heat and cold, is merely a form, variety, and rate of vibration. So heat and cold are simply the two poles of that which we call heat, and the phenomenon attendant thereupon are manifestations of the principle of polarity. Y'all get the point. Darkness and light. You see? Black and white. Noise and quiet. Negative and positive. Dull and sharp. Hard and soft. You get it. I think you get it. So moving on. We go to the law of rhythm. Alright? Everything flows out and in. Everything has its tides. Everything rises and falls. The pendulum swing manifesting everything. The measure of the swing to the right and the measure of the swing to the left, rhythm compensates. See, I'm going to say something. See, the law of rhythm deals with emotions. Emotions rise and fall. And guess what happens when emotions rise and fall? Especially if you like a ruler, a king, or a czar, or an emperor. Guess what comes along with that when your emotions rise and fall? Empires rise and empires fall. Just look down the wheel of time. And as you look down the wheel of time, as temperatures rose up within these people in high-ranking office, wars started. People began to die. Empires began to fall because of the law of rhythm. Everything flows in and out. Everything has its tides. All things rise and fall. The pendulum swing manifests in everything. The measure of the swing to the right is the measurement of the swing to the left. So, a lot of people may say, oh, I love you so much. Shit, that ain't nothing but an emotion. Because true love is ever flowing. There is no break in between it. All they're experiencing is the law of rhythm. Okay? That's just an emotion. True love is balance, harmony, and peace. As you look upon the cosmos and you see how the planets orbit with one another, never changing in their course, never bumping into each other. There is never any confusion. That's love. That is peace, balance, and harmony throughout all the eons and eons and eons. Not one have lost its course. That is peace, love, and harmony. Nothing fluctuates in the true essence of love. But we're dealing with the law of rhythm, you get fluctuation. Everything flows in and out. Everything has its tides. All things rise and fall. So we've been taught in the West that love is to have a strong emotion for a person. Not exactly. Okay? That's dealing with the law of rhythm. Not only that, that's dealing with polarity. Okay? So you can love somebody and guess what? When they make you mad, you hate their ass. See, everything is dual. Everything has its pole. Everything has its pair opposites, like, unlike, or the same. Opposites are identical in nature, but only different in degree. You love, then you hate. So the stronger you love somebody, when you get mad at them, that's that same energy in reverse. Alright? Hope you get it. But again, true love is ever continuing. There is no fluctuation in it. This is why this is the world of illusion. Now let's talk about this principle of rhythm. This principle embodies the truth that in everything there manifests a measured motion, to and fro. A flow in, inflow. A swing backwards and forward. A pendulum-like movement. A tide-like ebb and flow. A high tide and low tide. Between the two poles which exist in accordance with the principle of polarity described a moment ago. There is always an action and a reaction, an advance and a retreat, a rising and a sinking. This is in the affairs of the universe. Suns, worlds, men, animals, mind, energy, and matter. This law is manifest in the creation and destruction of the worlds, and the rise and fall of nations. I just said that shit. And the life of all things, and finally in the mental states of men. And it is with this later that the Hermetists find the understanding of the principle most important. The Hermetists have grasped this principle, finding its universal application, and have also discovered certain means to overcome its effects in themselves by the use of the appropriate formulas and methods. They apply the mental law of neutralization. You heard that? So if you want to stop that pendulum from swinging, stop giving energy to a thing. That's how you neutralize it. Because if you don't give energy to a thing, guess what happens? It ceases to exist. It can't feed off your energy. Because we feed off of each other's energy. We are energy givers. All right? It's just like if a person look at you and you don't like the way they look at you, and you say, oh, they making me mad. Well, goddamn, that means that person got power over you. You gave them enough energy. Well, actually, they gave you energy and you took it. You took their energy, and now some type of way they making you mad. Can't nobody make you mad. Only you can make you mad. But you allowed them to have power over you. And why did you allow them to have power over you? Because you allowed them to move you mentally and emotionally. You didn't move you mentally and emotionally. So that's how it is when you feed off each other's energy. So if you neutralize that, you can stop that. Just don't give any energy to it. Okay? They cannot annul the principle or cause it to cease its operation, but they have learned how to escape its effects upon themselves to a certain degree, depending upon the mastery of the principle. They have learned how to use it instead of being used by it. So it is with what I just said. Anytime somebody make you mad, that means they got power over you. All right? And this, in similar methods, consists the art of the Hermetics. The master of Hermetics polarizes himself at the point at which he desires to rest, and then neutralizes the rhythmic swing of the pendulum, which would tend to carry him to the other pole. All individuals who have attained any degree of self-mastery do this to a certain degree, more or less unconsciously. But the master does this consciously, and by the use of his will, and attains a degree of poise and mental firmness almost impossible of belief on the part of the masses, who are swung back and forward like a pendulum. This principle and that of polarity have been closely studied by the Hermeticists, and the methods of counteracting, neutralizing, and using them form an important part of the Hermetic mental alchemy. Shit, this is a book that must be studied. The Kabbalion. So in so many words, if you want to neutralize a thing, remain within yourself inner peace. Let no one take away your inner peace. Now I ain't saying somebody slap you or some shit. They ain't supposed to move you. Well, shit, you get what you put out. Somebody slap me, I'm knocking the shit out of them. That's just the way it go. Don't a mirror reflect? Alright then, that's cause and effect. And we finna get on that. They caused the shit, and I affected it. Okay, anyway. The principle of cause and effect. Everything has its effect. Every effect has its cause. Everything happens according to law. Chance is but a name for a law not recognized. Y'all heard that? Anybody that's in a religion, think about that shit. So they say that some people say they believe in the Big Bang Theory. That some shit just blowed up and everything just came. Shit. Chance is but a name for a law not recognized. There are many planes of causation, but nothing escapes the law. Here go the law. Every cause has its effect. Every effect has its cause. Everything happens according to law. So that shit don't even make no sense what they talking about. But anyway, this principle embodies the fact that there is a cause for every effect. See, this is what religion does to a person. It eliminates the law of cause and effect because you just believe. You don't even try to figure out what caused the shit. What caused a man to float up on a damn cloud, as the Bible say? Okay? You don't even think about none of that. What caused Satan, and what caused God not to destroy Satan, but he destroyed all his other enemies in the Bible? Don't nobody think about none of that shit. Really, think about the core of this shit. And what caused God to kill more people in the Bible than the devil? Religion don't teach you how to use this law, how to utilize this law to its fullest effect. And shit, even, it might not even, I don't even think it really even have no type of effect as far as using the principle of cause and effect. Because it just teach you just to believe. You don't know how to use none of this when you deal with religion, because it incarcerates your brain. But anyway, moving on. It explains that everything happens according to law, that nothing ever merely happens, that there is no such thing as chance, that while are various planes of cause and effect, the higher dominating the lower planes, still nothing ever entirely escapes the law. The Hermetists understand the law and methods of rising above the ordinary plane of cause and effect to a certain degree, and by mentally rising to a higher plane, they become causers instead of effects. Woo, y'all ain't hear that. Let me run that back. The Hermetists understand the art and methods of rising above the ordinary plane of cause and effect to a certain degree, and by mentally rising to a higher plane, they become causes instead of effects. I don't think y'all get it. Let me bring it home to you. What this is saying is absolute power and domination. So it is today with people like, you had people in the past like Sam Cooke, who wanted to own his record company, which was threatening the elite's power, which would have made them effects instead of causes. So it is with people that was murdered, such as Prince, who wanted to own a piece of the pie, which would have made the elites instead of causes, but people that would have been affected, such as Michael Jackson, who wanted to own his own industry. I think it was Sony or something. But anyway, he wanted to own something. He got knocked off. Bill Cosby, he got pushed out the way. They hid his ass. They trying to work little Chris Brown ass now. So this is why. Because they understand cause and effect. And they do not want to become the effect. They want to be the ones that cause shit. Basically, they want to be the kings on the damn chessboard and continue to have everybody else as pawns. Okay? See, listen. The masses of people are carried along, obedient to environment. The wills and desires of others stronger than themselves. All right? Heredity, suggestion, and other outward causes moving them about like pawns on a chessboard of life. But the masters rising to the plane above, dominate their moods. Damn. Characters, qualities, and powers, as well as the environment surrounding them. And they become movers instead of pawns. I just said that shit. They help to play the game of life instead of being played and move about by other wills and environment. They use the principle instead of being its tools. The masters obey the causation of the higher planes, but they help to rule on their own. In this statement, there is condensed a wealth of hermetic knowledge. Let him read who can. Oh, now that's some shit. See, this is how they rule. See, nothing is evil except the person's intentions. That's it. See, if everybody was to learn these hermetic laws and kill that ego, we would all live in perfect harmony with each other. But you got some egotistical motherfuckers that sit in high places, self-centered than the motherfucker. All they think about is themselves. Don't give a fuck before they become one with everybody and become a causer. I mean, not a causer, but an effect. Shit, they will remain the causers instead of the effects because they don't want to lose their power. So they are actually manipulating this law to their benefit, and are doing it in a wickedly wise way by remaining in total control. And anybody that gets in the way, guess what they do? They do just like what a king will do to a pawn. Knock his ass off the chessboard. Now, for more information dealing with the law of cause and effect, I would refer anybody to go read the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene, because it tells you in this book what to do and what not to do based off historical events that have taken place. All right, for example, let me show you what I'm talking about. Law 1, never outshine the master. Always make those above you feel comfortably superior in your desire to please or impress them. Do not go too far in displaying your talents, or you might accomplish the opposite. Inspire fear and insecurity. Make your masters appear more brilliant than they are, and you will obtain the heights of power. All right, this is Laws of Cause and Effect. And this book here, this might be one of the best books ever written on the law of cause and effect. Of basically using the law in the right way and using it in the wrong way. So I'm not gonna go over all these laws. This shit take too long. But I'm gonna call out a few of them just to make you think. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. Be wary of friends. They will betray you more quickly, for they are easily aroused to envy. They also become spoiled and tyrannical, but hire a former enemy and he will be more loyal than a friend because he has more to prove. In fact, you have more to fear from friends than from enemies. Ooh, boy, that's some in-depth thinking ass shit. If you have no enemies, find a way to make them. Now, you know how some people, like, they be cool and shit. Now, we dealing with the law of rhythm now. Some people, they cool. And then you be telling them shit about a certain person. Then when they start beefing with each other, guess what happened? They gonna run back and tell that same person that they was beefing with the shit that you done told them. All right, and now these two people that they was beefing with each other, they friends now though, because it's just the way the pendulum swings. So never put too much trust in your friends. Learn how to use them. Because you know how friends put their mask on and shit because they won't tell you the truth because they so worried about your feelings and shit. Shit. But not everybody the same way. Because you got some people that resonate directly in the heart chakra. Don't give a fuck how you feel. They're going to tell you just like it is. So, anyway, Law 3. Conceal your intentions. Keep people off balance and in the dark by never revealing the purpose behind your actions. If they have no clue what you are up to, they cannot prepare defense. Guide them far enough down the wrong path, envelop them in enough smoke, and by the time they realize your intentions, it will be too late. See, a lot of people say, this book evil. Ain't shit evil but a person's intentions, okay? A person's intentions, that's it. So, this is a good book based off the laws of cause and effect, on how to use it. Also, the law of rhythm, how the pendulum swings. So, if you understand the laws in this book, you most definitely will understand the laws in this book. All right, this is just what it is. I'm going to touch a little bit more on some of these laws in the 48 laws of power. Law 4, always say less than necessary. When you are trying to impress people with words, the more you say, the more common you appear, and the less in control. Even if you are saying something banal. Ooh, y'all need to hear this. It will seem original if you make it vague, open-ended, and Spanx-like. Powerful people impress and intimidate by saying less. The more you say, the more likely you are to say something foolish. This sounds like some shit I read years ago when I was reading about Buddha. How Buddha say right speech, right action, do everything with a purpose. Just don't be rambling off at the damn mouth. Alright, anyway, y'all get the point. I'm going to show a couple more of these laws, just in case y'all want to see, what's going on in this book, in case you want to get it. It's an interesting book. It really opens the mind. Robert Greene is a very, intelligent person, if you ask me, because I don't know how he come up with this shit. I believe he got to be deep into the occult. He got to be studying the Hermetic laws. Got to be. He deep in the occult. Learn to keep people depending on you. Look at that shit. See, that's just like pastors. They give you so much. They first of all, they take away the law of cause and effect just by making you believe in shit. And then they keep you depending on them. You know how you coming back and forth to church and shit. The so-called house of God, but actually the physical body is the house of God, not no damn building. So this law deals with a lot of that. Look at that. To maintain your independence, you must always be needed and wanted. The more you are relied on, the more freedom you have. Make people depend on you for their happiness and prosperity, and you have nothing to fear. Never teach them enough so that they can do without you. Ain't that some shit? That's some tyrannical shit. That's like a wicked ass ruler. See, you supposed to teach. If you in harmony, if you're resonating in the heart chakra, if you're in harmony with the universal laws, and you have no ego, you are supposed to teach your fellow person everything you know so that they can become like you. So if I'm great, I would want you to become great like me. I wouldn't want to manipulate you and use you as a pawn. I would want you to become a king like me, so you can have your own shit and I have my own shit. That's just personal. But apparently, throughout history, because these laws are taken from historic events that took place. So you had, and this is why you had empires to rise and fall, because of motherfuckers like this. Learn to keep people depending on you. And what happens? People figure it out. They're like, man, this motherfucker ain't teaching us everything. That's how he ruling over us. And then they poison one of the kings or something, and his ass wound up dead because people figure it out. Everybody ain't stupid. And people that's in harmony with the universal laws, they ain't even got to be taught shit like this. They already know it by nature. All right, he got other stuff. Use selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim. Ooh, boy. Robert Greene, the motherfucker now. He also wrote a book, The Art of Seduction, The 33 Strategies of War. I got that one in my storage. He got another one, The Laws of Nature. Oh, that book huge. I gotta get that. Okay, Pose as a friend, work as a spy and shit. Alright, y'all get the point. But I'm just show a couple more of these in case you want to check it out. Do not commit to anyone. Look at that shit. This book here deals with it deals with straight self-independence where nobody can manipulate you and take any power from you. This is why it's called the 48 Laws of Power. Okay? See them laws? Law 27, 28. Man. Playing all the way to the end. Shit. This book is excellent. Now it's a good book. Law 33. Y'all see him. I'm just showing this. I ain't finna go over all this. But I just want y'all to see what these laws look like. So if you wanted to get this book, you'll know what you're getting yourself into. I mean, you can pause this shit and, I don't know, so you can read it or whatever. Screenshot it. I really don't give a shit. But I just want y'all to see what y'all getting yourself into. Some people want to be all sneaky and shit, reading the 48 Laws of Power like they finna use it against somebody. And that's probably their intentions. Some people don't want to show certain knowledge because they want to use it to their benefit to have power over other folks. Wicked motherfuckers. Not me. I want you to know it all. But anyway, I'm going to continue for part 3. So stay tuned.